So, I haven't posted in a while, and it's because I recently moved, and haven't found a spot to do this yet, and I'm moving again soon-ish, so I'm sort of in flux, and haven't had the privacy, because I live in a group home, the privacy nor the kind of time and care to post a video in a while, so I'm really happy to be with you today. And today's just going to be a short one of a book I found in one of those free libraries. We live in Vermont, and people are pretty excited about books and poetry, and this is something I found in the free library, so it's been really fun to check those out when I go on walks. So, I've gotten a few requests for like books about animals with a lot of pictures, and when I found this, I was like, okay, great, because I haven't been able to go to the library. This is called Absolutely Wild. Wild. Poems by Webster. Illustrations by Webster, Cunningham. I feel like the drawings in this they're so amazing, and I love the animals they choose to highlight. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Really cool. We've got the vulture, the donkey, or maybe the camel, the giraffe, perhaps the goose, maybe the quail. I'm not sure what this is. We'll find out, I'm sure. Elephant, puffin, porcupine, ants, ox, or maybe water buffalo, penguins. Maybe this is a gibbon. I'm not sure. It's some type of monkey. Then some type of bird, maybe like a seagull of a type. What's this? Oh, the platypus. And then buffalo. We'll see. Absolutely wild. For Scott. This is really cute. Oh, it's the yak, not a buffalo. The yak, a shaggy species, is the yak, with hairy front and hairy back. Trying to get it in the shot. It isn't very hard to spot him, with hairy top and hairy bottom. He doesn't mind that he's so shaggy. If he wore pants, he'd like them baggy. His coat's a frightful mess, and yet you dress as he does in Tibet. So beautiful. Look how gorgeous and like detailed that is. So cool. Okay. Oh no, I don't know if I know how to say this. the ptarmigan. I'm gonna assume that the P is silent, but we'll see. Please correct me if you know how to do this. A ptarmigan is a beautiful sight. In summer she's brown, in winter white. Though this little bird has a difficult name, she's very proud of it all the same. So always remember, I'll be emphatic. The P is silent, as in pneumatic. So I was right. I actually haven't read through this book very much. I've only looked at the illustrations so far, so again, so beautiful. Very imaginative. The snail. The snail's a funny little fellow whose body seems to run on jello. He slips and slides along the ground and never makes the slightest sound. He only has one foot, and so his speed is very, very slow. Still, moving at all is hard, you know, when you carry your house wherever you go. Cool. Two in one. The seagull. I was right. The seagull is a handsome bird who looks so spick and span, it's easy to forget that he's a seashore garbage man. So good. I'm getting so much delight from this, I don't know why. The puffin. The puffin, the puffin, the puffin, the puffin. The puffin. If you ever meet a puffin, be prepared to be surprised. He's a stubby little seabird whose beak is oversized. His body is mostly black and white. His manners are quite mild. The beak's the thing about him that is absolutely wild. He tries to live a modest life, like any normal fellow. But how can he seem average? His beak's red, blue, and yellow. Look at that beak. Very cool. The moose. The massive moose can meet his needs by munching moss and twigs and weeds. He is a solitary fellow, all he does is stand and bellow. A stranger thing you'll never meet. He's got big knees and bigger feet. His nose is huge, his hair is hopeless. He smells because his life is soapless. But when a female wanders by, her beauty makes him preen and sigh. Both look as odd as all their kind. It must be true that love is blind. I've always thought that moose are like so gorgeous, so this is funny to me. They're so grand and terrifying too. This is beautiful. The ostrich. The ostrich is a splendid bird who's taller than most men. It seems a little bit absurd to call his wife a hen. This giant can outrun a horse and eats like one, it said. So when she lays an egg, of course, it's bigger than your head. Good guns. Oh no, that's so not what that says. What does that say? Good news? Good news. so funny. The new. Every good zoo should have a new to help the local papers. When they have nothing else to do, reporters watch their capers, and newsmen reach the highest peak of journalistic joy. Journalistic joy, journalistic joy. When a headline type can proudly shriek, "Good news, it's a boy." The puns are endless. Okay. The Shrew. The Shrew's The Shrew's the smallest animal that lives upon the earth. She's rather teeny tiny from the moment of her birth. There's just one thing that's oversized about this little mite. Her one gigantic feature is a fearsome appetite. I think it is a blessing that the Shrew is made so small. If shrews grew big as elephants, I'm sure they'd eat us all. So the Shrew is going after the elephant. Jesus. The Vulture. The Vulture. The Vulture. What can we say about the Vulture? A bird without a shred of culture. Her manners aren't among the best. She'd be an awful dinner guest. She eats until her stomach's full. Her conversation's very dull. When asked to sing, she'd loudly croak. She cannot use a knife and fork. I'd like to find one kindly word about this bald, untidy bird. I had one ready to submit, but now I can't remember it. I have a good thing about vultures. They're really important for decomposition in the natural world. So, vultures, good job getting things, digested and not decaying. So I appreciate that, vultures. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Look at that. I just love the details. The porcupine. The chubby little porcupine's a most amazing creature. She has a pelt that can't be missed as her outstanding feature. I like a little animal whose fur is soft and tickly, so it's hard to love a porcupine whose back is just plain prickly. Plain prickly. Plain prickly. Sorry, I gotta move for a second. My leg fell asleep. Okay. The ant. The ant is very active. She runs around all day. She scurries yon and hither, and has no time for play. She never seems to skip or walk. She's always on the run. She goes to lots of picnics, but never has much fun. I really love the different types of animals in this book. Like, I feel like I wouldn't expect to read about an ant, and I just love that we are getting that. It's so cool. The platypus. The platypus is quite unique. To start with, up front there's a beak, while buried in the cuddly fur of a male's hind leg is a poison spur. They have webbed feet upon their legs, and the female platypus lays eggs. They dine on worms alone, it seems, as they swim around Australian streams. I think that nature made a blunder, then tried to hide it way down under. That's funny. feel like there was a time when everyone was obsessed with the platypus. They're like, oh my god, what is this? Do you remember that? I feel like that was a trend in our cultures. Especially in Western culture, I don't know. In American culture. Okay. The giraffe. Wow. So pretty. An adult giraffe is a towering beast who stands over 19 feet tall. He weighs about 4,000 pounds, or at least that's what those who have weighed one will call. People say that his camouflage rating is high because of the spots on his belt, but it seems to me only someone who won't try cannot find a giraffe on the veldt. I can find that. Look at the knees. I love the details on the knees. I'd count the spots, but we'd be here for a long time. Wow. The penguin. The penguin is an awkward bird. At least that's what I've always heard. He swims and waddles, never flies, when other birds act otherwise. His workday outfit seems so formal, and that, I think, is hardly normal. He keeps his egg upon his feet, which doesn't sound so very neat. Still, I guess the penguin does his best to raise a child without a nest. It's not exactly paradise, living on a slab of ice. Little one right there, it's so cute. Yep, Gibbon. Wow. The Gibbon. Based in the Southeast Asian trees, the gibbon's life is one of ease. He's like a little child at play, eating and swinging all the day. All through his life he just relaxes and never thinks of income taxes. He's never heard of a nuclear ban. He's free of revolution. I sometimes think my fellow man was gypped by evolution. Wow. So, absolutely wild. So I was really excited to share this book with you, and I thought that was really fun. So thank you for coming to this story time today, and thank you for your patience just waiting for me to post something, because life is not always it doesn't always give you a way to do the things you want to do. So I've been working on making a space for this. So it might be a little bit of a wait after this video, but I'll be back at it. And I so appreciate you watching this video today. And stay.